So, hey everybody, we are here with a new podcast and it's Memorial Day weekend. So I'm kind of excited about the topic. We're speaking with Josh Basile and Andrew Mitchell. They are a team. Josh is the founder of SPINALpedia and Andrew Mitchell is his caddy and his friend. And together they do some amazing things on the golf course, adaptive golf, but it's more than just that. And we're going to talk about it here today. So, hey guys, welcome.
Hey, Tiffany.
This is really, hey Andrew, nice to meet you.
Yep.
So I know that we've talked about adaptive golf, Josh, you and I over the years for a long time, and Slingshot Golf has been like your invention. And this is something that you've taken to some really exciting places. And last weekend, you guys did your first competitive event, I believe, at the 36th Pennsylvania Amputee and Adaptive Open, right?
That is correct. We
So
made it out onto a golf course to compete against others.
that's really amazing. I was watching some of the video and you guys turned a lot of heads on the golf course, it seems. But before I kind of get into that experience, can you just kind of, for everyone listening that doesn't know exactly how you play golf, how in the heck are you playing golf as a C4 quad with, minimal arm movement?
So when I was injured back in 2004, golf was a big part of my life. I think playing golf with my friends and my dad was the best thing in the world for me at that time. And after my injury, losing my functionality below my shoulders, I had to find a way to get back out to compete again. Mentally, I knew how to play the game and knew how to play it well, but physically, I couldn't hold a golf club or swing a golf club at all. And so with kind of different approaches to the game, I ended up having a dream one night about a pendulum putting device that would swing back and forth without having to really hold it. You just kind of have somebody push the handle forward, the putter head goes back, and we put a protractor on it to measure the distance of every shot. And then that's how we got the ball from the green into the hole. But to get the ball onto the green, we started using a slingshot. And my friend, like Andrew, would hold it, I'd tell him the height, the line, the power. He'd pull it back, and boom, it would drop. It would go where you want it to go. So it was pretty
most of the time.
It's amazing. I've seen it in action online only, and I would love to see it in person. It's such an interesting idea. Have you ever seen anyone else play golf like this before, or are you pretty sure this is your invention?
With Slingshot Golf, we're the only ones doing it out there, but there's other people playing different types of golf. There's like soccer golf. There's a fling golf where you can like sling a ball with like a rope and like a pocket. There's all these different ways of people finding how to change the game of golf, but this is kind of our unique approach to it.
That's amazing. And I didn't realize you had a dream about it. That's so cool. So, and then did you have to contact an engineer friend, or who helped you develop your first prototype?
And one of my caregivers who is good with his hands and enjoyed building things, we just went down to my dad's like tool room.
Yeah.
And we went to the local hardware store and bought PVC piping. We started building the first one and attached a putter to it. And then since then we've had many revisions to it, and we currently have the current version we're using. But I think the big thing we learned with Slingshot Golf was we could play well, we could have fun, we could turn heads like you were saying earlier, but
yeah,
we never could really approach the longer game because a slingshot for the most part goes about 120 to 130 yards.
Yeah.
And a lot of holes can be 500 plus yards. So it was a very short, we would always start in the fairway on the par fours and par fives, and then par threes, sometimes we could do it from the tee boxes. But that was how we played the game of golf for the last, since we started. I think we started around like 2011, 2012.
Cool.
And everything changed when we got this new club called the Swingless Golf Club.
How can you say that again? The swingless?
The Swingless Golf Club.
That is so. When did this come out? Is this a relatively new invention?
A year ago?
So
2 years ago?
I think they're on their second device, second generation. But I think it's been around for 4 or 5 years. But it's really started to take off because
amazing.
Andrew and I saw Rick Shields. You want to know about that?
Yeah. Rick Shields is a sort of a golfer personality, influencer online. And he just dives into the game from all these interesting angles. And you were eating lunch one day. I think you were just watching his stream, and he tried to test out this club that fires a piston using 22 blanks. And so this piston that's maybe about, I don't know, 3-4 inches long at most, just fires right out of the club based on the pressure release from the blank and hits the ball, and it can go. I think your furthest shot was like 260.
It's made to go 200 yards.
It's made to go 200.
But you know, with any condition, if you got the wind behind you, got a hard fairway, it can go pretty far. But
Yeah.
before, you know, our longer shots were in the 120s, 130 yards.
Yep.
Now we have a 200 plus yard club, which now allowed us to start to play from the tee boxes, which then got us thinking, you know what, maybe we could do a tournament and compete against others.
That's so cool. And so with that, the swingless club, a hole-in-one is virtually impossible. That was what you're saying.
Well,
It's we've had some close calls.
I think 4 inches on a par 3 is about you've gotten close.
With the slingshot, we've gotten to 3 inches from getting a hole-in-one. Our closest so far with the swingless golf club, we had a par 4 that we were on, and it was 200 plus yards, and we got from like 4 or 5 feet from the hole, which is a par 4, so you're not supposed to get it anywhere near.
We had a very friendly bounce on that drive.
But yeah, no, it's there. The cool thing about these type of devices is you take a lot of the human error out of the game. So it feels like you're playing a video game almost, where you have the controllers will do what the controllers do. You just have to calibrate them correctly and make sure you make the right decisions on what your shot should do, and then just execute on it.
Yeah, watching you guys work together is really impressive. Did it take some time to kind of have that symbiotic relationship? So Andrew kind of knows, like, you go left, right, and that kind of thing, or how does that work exactly?
We almost had to develop a language that is sort of unique to the way that we communicate on the course. And that means, like for the slingshot, for example, Josh will say a degree, and I don't know if automatically correct these are out, but if he says 90, that means I'm up, and then from there you go down.
Cool.
And 45 is sort of our longest shot.
Okay.
And anywhere in between there, 45 up to 90, that'll sort of calibrate the type of roll that we're going to get. And beyond that, it becomes a lot of practice over where on my arm and my chest does the pullback work. So like, how far is it going to go if it's here, right? Versus here, versus here, versus here at each different angle.
Okay.
And so that's where the range time comes in. And that's where, if you're bonding with your caddy, you can play a really competitive round of golf, but it takes a lot of practice, just like able-bodied golf would.
How long have you been doing this with Josh? Is this something you guys been doing for a while then? I don't
really, we've been doing it for a while, but really since the pandemic, we're brought to another level.
4 years, maybe the first time I sling with you, but yeah, pandemic was like, there's nothing safe that we could do except be outside. So
cool.
Outside. Yeah.
I know this is not on my question list, but I just thought of this. I wanted to ask, out of the 3 devices that you do use to help Josh golfs with these 3 devices. And I'm just thinking to myself, which of the 3 do you find the most, tricky to use in terms of, using it and making sure you do the right exact angle? I don't know. It's kind of
the slingshot by far takes the most practice.
Okay.
And is the most rewarding.
Okay, and it's the most rewarding. Awesome.
Because when you get it right, it feels, there's just nothing like it.
I can see that.
Because everybody, it's not just you that experiences, oh, I had a good shot and that feels good to me.
Right.
Everybody around you is watching what you're doing like you're a magician. They're not putting the pieces together on what the hell did you just do to make that work? And cool. The ball is it's like a Mickelson flop shot. It's just straight up and it drops dead. Exactly.
Amazing.
Where you aimed it.
Yeah, you wouldn't think that the slingshot could do like from the rough and then go in that short, but I saw Josh go really up high with it and then it goes down, right? Like the super, like when you do a pop ball in baseball, you just go really high and then it goes down and it doesn't go very far. It's just fun to watch. I honestly, I was gonna also, has any other quads played this, Josh? Do you know of? Or are you like the only one out there?
I've brought in a lot of families out across the
Okay.
country and across the world
That's
to play the
great.
game. I once went to Cuba and introduced Slingshot Golf to a Cuban paraplegic. But now that we have the new club with the swingless club,
Yep.
it's called the Power Golf Club. But
Yeah.
that club, it's kind of changing the distance for us, the way that we can play. So we're really trying to figure it out, and it's been such a moving and fun experience just to do it together and not to have to do it alone. And
And to be out there, right? I think what you're saying, being on the course and doing what you always did as a kid and still out there, it might be different, but you're still out there and you're actively shooting the ball. I think that's the thing about golf. You have to know, your eyes have to see it, right? Exactly. It's so exact, so interesting.
there's a lot of variables out there that you have to
Yeah.
figure out. But whether you have a disability or not, like everybody that plays the game of golf has to weigh all those factors and then try to make the right decision and hope it works for the best. But like my biggest thing that I've missed more than ever was the ability to compete, a competition. Like before my injury, I was a college tennis player, and being able to compete against others is like where I thrived and like what I looked for to like get my heart and adrenaline racing. And like I really haven't had that since my injury. And then all of a sudden we signed up for a tournament. We didn't know if we were even going to be allowed.
Right. So what was their response when you signed up? What did they have a lot of
We were
questions?
a little nervous that like
Yeah.
people would look at all the sort of gadgets and gizmos we're coming with and go like, oh, well, you guys shouldn't be here. And well, we just didn't know, and we showed up there and it's like everybody wanted to be our friend. Everybody wanted to be into whatever it was that we were figuring out. If it was on the range, they wanted to know what was going on with the swingless club. If we were doing chipping, they wanted to know what was going on with the slingshots. Everybody wanted to know how the pendulum worked for the putter when we were on the putting green. And it's like, at one point, I think in the second round, once people were kind of aware of us, we had people cheering us when we sunk like a long putt. Like we weren't just accepted, people were cheering for us. And that was, I mean, I've never had a fan. Anything I did, we had two people following us like the whole.
I'm his fan. But
I think it's great.
like I think a lot of the people that were there, and they even invited some people to come see it, like that we didn't even know about. Across the state, people came in because a lot of people want to open the game of golf to all abilities.
That's the thing. Yeah.
This is a new way of like literally for the first time ever in competition, somebody played around without ever holding or touching a golf ball.
It's amazing.
So, and we did it, and we did it well. We played usually when we use the Power Golf Club, the swingless club.
Yeah.
You play from the forward tees, which is also known sometimes as the ladies' tees.
The ladies' tee, yeah.
So it's like the closest up to the green, but everybody else was playing from the blues, which are further back.
Yeah.
So we decided, all right, you know what? If everybody else is gonna do it, we're gonna try it too. So it was a lot longer than we were used to, that we were training for.
Yeah.
It was very challenging.
But we got out there and we got into our rhythm.
That's great. How did you do? Did you feel like you were competitive, or was it more of like, we got work to do still?
I believe there was around 45 players, 30 to 45 players
across multiple different flights,
and we ended up finishing 5th.
No way.
Yeah.
So we
and we had during the round no gauge on where we were at. Partially because we were playing with a local pro, and then Delaware's #1 seed.
The first day, so there was like people that without disabilities that were playing alongside, just kind of. So there's the tournament players, the people that were playing like every ball count, and then some players that were just there to kind of like have fun and be witness to it. We ended up playing with this girl, Anna, and she was actually the best golfer I've ever witnessed in my entire life.
Seriously.
Like it was, I thought like we were good as golfers, but like she was like another level. Like
It was
very
like
cool.
getting to play with a tour player.
Yeah,
Really?
Just no mistakes,
she just kind of finished college.
effortless.
She's in college. She's just finishing up, but she was the #1 player on her team, Division 1, and it's nice.
When you was her accuracy was just amazing to watch. Is that when you
Everything,
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah,
Cool.
It was another level.
That must have been amazing to golf.
but it was cool to get
Yeah.
to chat with her because one of her goals professionally is to move forward and be able to bring adaptive golf to
Really?
the training area.
So she was actually the one that came across state to come be there.
Wow, she's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. You know, the time is now, I believe, for a lot of ideas coming out. People seem to be more curious than ever about adaptive sports and wanting to embrace them. I feel like it's really cool to hear about what an awesome time you guys had there and stuff. Do you have any other future like plans to do more tournaments this summer then, or are you guys looking at other things?
Well, just to bring out more and more families, we ended up
Okay.
buying 3 of those power golf clubs. So we want to take a lot of families out to play. We want to take them to golf ranges, to Top Golf Academy, do
Yeah.
events, and let them experience the game of golf in a new way.
I love that.
You don't have to like swing and hurt your back doing it, or be in awkward positions. You can play the game in a unique way or a fun way that's gonna allow you to do it really well.
Can anyone buy the equipment that you've created? I know the power club is you could buy that, but this pendulum and the slingshot, is that something I forget? Do you sell that
We're
or
working on right now for the
okay?
to have something that people can either purchase or
Yeah,
DIY and build themselves.
yeah.
The slingshot, I just buy a slingshot on Amazon, and then a special slingshot pocket, like the rubber part. I purchased a separate one because you need it to be big enough for the ball to fit. So when I combine the two together, it creates the device we use.
It's awesome.
And
It's
then
awesome.
the power golf you can buy through a website. It's a California business.
Okay. And also when you're out on the course in your power chair, do you have to be careful of the greens? Can you go on the greens in your power chair or no?
I choose not to. With my
Mhm.
particular chair,
Yeah,
it's 30 to 50 pounds without me even in it.
same with me.
So
I
like
know.
I used to go on greens and then would turn, and
Yeah,
then I'd create big like marks on the green with my wheels.
yeah,
I just decided, you know what, I'm just gonna go around the greens. But
Okay.
luckily, the way that we designed the putting device, you
Yeah.
can easily see kind of the lines on the putter head to be
Yeah.
able to line it up.
Perfect.
And
That's so
some
cool.
of the, like, just for safety reasons, we've checked out courses ahead of time, like to make sure that all the parts of the course are navigable and getting around the greens isn't dangerous, things like that. Because there are some courses in the area that just they're not worth the risk.
Yeah.
but the majority of all courses are.
Yeah.
It's
Is it ADA? Do they have to be?
they're supposed to be, or depending on when they were built and whenever they've done major renovations.
Yeah.
But for the most part, because it's just a lot of grass, you're usually pretty good at doing any course. So you have to go off the cart path, which is
Yeah.
usually paved.
Right. There's
Yeah.
almost always a safe route somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then some holes kind of can get tricky.
Yeah.
But we get creative with solutions, especially around the green, with like
Yeah.
where you'll set up and then we'll just leave the flag stick in so you've got the visual or
Cool.
things like that. So like even if Josh can't be right behind the putting device,
Yeah.
make it work.
Yeah.
Yeah. I noticed that you had the ideal line of sight is for Josh to be like directly behind you, right? And then you can kind of see what you're seeing. Is that usually the
He'll
goal?
start behind me for the lineup and
Yeah.
then he'll go perpendicular to it to
Okay.
gauge power.
Okay.
Because it's a gravity powered golf club, the putting device.
Is the slingshot the same? Then you have to also be to the side, or do you try to?
Depends on the shot.
For shorter shots, I like being on the side because the power matters a lot more. But for longer shots, I really want to make sure the direction and the line that I have is better, because it launches. But like the shorter shots, you want to get it close to the hole.
And Josh can keep an eye on for the longer shots, the the place where you can sort of mess up on a shot is if the bands don't come back perfectly in line with the opening for the slingshot.
Hmm.
So Josh can, if I am not seeing something, Josh can catch a mistake and be like, okay, let's reset. Like we'll try that again before you launch. And,
So there's a lot of communication between each other. So it's,
Yep.
Andrew, in so many ways, when I'm out there, he
Mhm.
tries to be my arms. He tries to be my body for me. And then
Awesome.
my mind can make the decisions to like try to get good scores and get the ball
which is
one shot closer.
it can be challenging sometimes, for me as a golfer, like I am participating in this and I want the outcome to be the best possible outcome.
Yeah.
But if I'm really doing my job, I am completely turning my brain off,
Right.
just following directions.
Yep. Yep. So
Um,
that Josh can feel like it's all him, right?
right.
Yeah.
And so we'll communicate, we'll chatter a little bit,
We-
on putts and stuff.
Well, and that's the thing. It's when Andrew kind of zones out. It's like when you're executing the shot.
Right.
But prior to executing the shot, we're trying to figure out what's our best choice of. I like to call it club. Like literally every
Mhm.
angle or power is
Right.
usually with a golf bag. You pull a different club out, and it does the different angle, the different power.
Yep. Yep.
So we're kind of figuring that all out together, and then, all right, this is our decision. This is what we're going with. Now let's execute.
So our golf bag is a notebook.
So cool.
And a golf bag would have 14 clubs.
Yeah.
We've got like 14 different notes that we refer to figure out, well, how do we approach this, whatever challenges
We
in
know
front of us.
this shot will go 50 yards. We know this shot will
Right.
go 75 yards. This type of shot will go 100.
Wow. So
And
do you
then
guys use different golf balls too, or no?
we try to use the same golf
The
ball.
bright yellow
Okay.
Proby one.
All
So
right,
if we
cool.
stand out, we know right where we are, and
Right.
just we both like the feel of a Proby. So
Cool. And Josh, do you feel like your ability to like line up things is better after having to now do it like this before your injury? Your golf in terms of golfing?
Oh, I'm a way better golfer now than I was before my injury. Like
I bet you are.
this is target golf. But it's
Yeah.
also you got to practice to get good at it. And I know we're only gonna get better the more we play and the more confidence we get.
Man, I love it. I think you guys have a really exciting like future of like demoing this at like big events even. I could see that happening. It's really, really cool. People love to see people breaking out of their whatever you think is your confines and doing it still. That's what I love about this game of golf that you've created, Josh. It's really showing that you can do it without even arm movement. So amazing. So I think I've almost asked you all of my questions. Is there anything else you guys wanted to kind of add before we finish up?
It's just whenever, I guess anybody listening to it this far, just like if there's a will, there's a way. If you want to like approach something differently in your life that you used to do and you don't know if it's possible, like I tell this to all the newly injured families I ever mentor. Before my injury, I did things 1 million ways. After my injury, I now do it 1 million new ways, 1 million different ways. So figuring out what that new and different approach to life is for you, like you can do some pretty cool things. You can turn some heads and you can have a lot of fun and make memories with good friends and all that good stuff.
You can get out on that course and enjoy the vibe, right? That's what I love too, is just getting out there. So it's great. Well, I hope to see you guys do some, well, you are going to be doing more this summer. So I look forward to more of your social media posts.
Final words, Andrew.
Yeah.
it's just something I noticed even in the last tournament we played in. I've been doing this with Josh for about 4 years, and I'm still learning something. And so like if anywhere in your life you're rewarded by skill development or getting better at something, the skill ceiling in this game is very, very high. You're always going to have an opportunity to be out there and figure something out and get better. And it was like mid-round we figured something out. It was super exciting, and then we played better the rest of the round. And
So cool. Mhm.
so if that makes you happy, and
Yeah.
for any reason you felt like you couldn't approach golf again, you can.
Mhm.
And you can have that feeling again. So
That's awesome.